Alright, today we're going to talk about conversion factors and proportions. So let's start off with proportions. So let's say we have the proportions 3/8 equals x over 36. So we have to figure out what x is to make this a true proportion. So in order to do that, we're going to cross multiply 3 times 36 and then divide that by 8. So 3 times 36, so 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1. So that's 108. And we have to take the 108 and divide it by the 8. So 8 will go into 10 once. Subtract, you get 2. Bring down the 8. 8 will go into 28 4 times, which is 20, or 3 times, sorry. 3 times, which is 24. Subtract, you get 4. Add a decimal and a 0. 8 will go into 40 5 times. So you get 13.5 equals x. If you want to see what the algebra is on this, you would end up with 8 times x is 8x equals 3 times 36 is still 108. And we divide that by 8 to get our x equals 13.5. So you're going to cross multiply and divide to solve a proportion. Alright, so let's do another example of a proportion. So we have 15 over 25 equals x over 15. And if you want to make your multiplication and division a little bit easier, you can take that original 15 over 25 and reduce that. Both of those you can reduce by 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 25 5 times. So now we cross multiply. 3 times 1, 15. 5 times x. So 5 times x is 5x equals 3 times 1, 15. 3 times 1, 15 would be 345. And then we're going to divide that by 5. So 345 divided by 5. 5 will go into 34 6 times, which is 30. Subtract, you get 4. Bring down the 5. 5 goes into 45 9 times. So x equals 69. You could have done it with the 15 and the 25. Your numbers would have just been larger. You still would have got an answer of 69. Alright, so we have a word problem now. 10 trees produce 250 apples. How many apples would 16 trees produce? And there's two ways to do this. I'll show you both ways. One is with a proportion and one is with a unit rate. So we'll start with unit rate. So if 10 trees produce 250 apples, you'd find the unit rate. So we have 250 apples for 10 trees. So our unit rate, we'd do 250 divided by 10. So that's 25 apples per one tree. And then we can take that unit rate and multiply it by the number of trees. So that would be 25 apples per tree times 16 trees to figure out how many apples. Let's get a little more room here. So 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3 is 15. Add the 0. 1 times everything is itself, so that'd be 25. So that's 0, 0, 1. That'd be 400 apples produced by 16 trees. If we did it as a proportion, we could have the ratio of 10 trees for 250 apples equals, so that's trees over apples, 16 trees over how many apples. So here you're going to cross multiply. So 10 times A would be 10A. And then 250 times 16 would give us 4,000. So one-step equation, divide by 10, divide by 10. So apples would equal 400, because 4,000 divided by 10 would be 400. So we'd get 400 apples for 16 trees.